Aren't you about tired of listening to sports shows with all the woke bullshit? So are we. This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports, from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it. Like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. And now, here's Eric, Angela, John, Chris, and the coach.
Welcome back, my friends. If you're new, then welcome in Patriot Sports Radio. My name is Eric. I'm your host. Thank you for joining us. Damn glad to have you here. NFL football is just 69 days away, believe it or not. So, getting our divisional previews rolling. Every Thursday, we'll dive into another division, see if we can't figure out what the hell is going to transpire. Start east to west. That just makes sense. It's like clockwise. It just makes sense to me to go east to west. AFC comes before NFC in the alphabet. AFC East obviously comes first. Joining us, Commissioner Cooper, rabid Dolphins fan, Fantasy Sports Corp, entrepreneur to the stars. How's it going down there? It's hot as fuck here.
It is hot as Hades down here as well. And it's really that humidity because wifey sent me outside for my outside studio. So if you excuse the forehead sweat as I get the humidity down here. But thanks so much for having me on. Love talking about America's team, the Miami Dolphins, and we can definitely cover the rest for sure.
What?
Oh, that's my thing, Coach. It's America's team.
The Miami Dolphins.
It's like a one-man campaign.
That's right. It's going to catch on. I don't know if you saw Nikki when Nikki came on. She actually had a nice little take. She kind of agreed. She's like, look, it's better weather. It's a nice place. Why is it Dallas? Oh, let's go. Let's change it to Miami. Come on.
It is more of a destination.
I never
it's a
voted
transient.
Dallas either.
Miami's a transient city. You have people from all over the country who become Dolphins fans.
See? Here we go.
Then they go back to their home states and they bring the Dolphins merchandise with them. And that, you know what? I'm sold.
See?
Dolphins are
very
America's
easy.
team.
America's team. I'm going to get the t-shirt soon.
I love it.
I am excited to talk about your Dolphins because I want to hear about them. I want to hear all about them. What do you think about this Cook deal? Is that happening or is that just bunk?
I don't know what to say. This is my personal feelings because everything that's coming out, you hear the little bit of the Jets, maybe the Patriots. I think what he's doing is he's posturing just to get a little bit more money from the Dolphins. And I think really what he's waiting on is he's hoping Mostert or Wilson will get hurt right when spring training starts. When we start bringing in for them for camp. So that's what I think what he's really waiting on, quite frankly. And I think he's just posturing because why would you go to the Jets when they have Breece Hall? It doesn't make sense. He wants to be, quote, ground and pound, but you have Breece Hall there. It makes no sense. Patriots, they already kind of are good on Ramondre Stevenson. So I'm not really sure what the fit is there. Like I just said, we got Jeff Wilson and Mostert. Like, you are starter day one. So it makes more sense. Obviously, he's from South Florida. He's got a lot of pictures in the offseason being down here. This is where he wants to be. Come on home to America's team, Dalvin. We're waiting for you.
Wilson and Mostert are both top 5 in the league at getting injured, too. So that's a great bet to make. So Dolphins last year, 9-8, playoffs, first time since 2016. Offense was 11th, 23.8 points per game. Defense, 24th, 24.1 points per game. Dolphin overs were great. Rushing, 96 yards a game, 27th. But 6th in the league in passing, 261 yards per game. 4th-ranked rush defense, not bad. 28th-ranked pass defense. They got Mike McDaniel, and now they got Vic Fangio. Maybe fix that defense up a little bit. Steve Donatel, some sort of passing game coordinator guy. Brought in Jalen Ramsey, Mike White, Braxton Berrios, Robbie, a.k.a. Robbie I.E., a.k.a. Chosen Anderson. And they drafted Devon Achane. That kid sounds promising. Byron Jones, the only notable player that I saw who left, They have the third most difficult schedule, according to Warren Sharp. They're projected 9.5 wins. 2023. Do they get Dalvin Cook? What happens with Tyreek? I heard he slapped a dude at a marina.
So, all right. So let's address that then. Well, first, let me go back to the Wilson and Mostert thing real quick. Now, I will say Mike McDaniels did an excellent job last year managing both of those running backs. So neither one of them really felt any type of injury like they normally do. One of those off season, we never see them again. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor's dog just constantly barking, my bad. But that constant, Mike definitely did a great job, and it was basically gave the hot guy. I mean, it was Mostert for a little bit to start, then Jeff Wilson came. He came in a little bit later, but then he gave him the Brock for a little while, and they just kind of offset them both. So adding Dalvin Cook, who does have a little bit of injury history with his shoulder as well, I think is just, like I said, is just a perfect fit for him anyway to just work that in there. As far as Tyreek is concerned, what I've understood it as, it was one of those Tyreek went like this to the back of the guy's head. That was basically it. So I don't know whoever this guy is, but if you think that little slap in the back of the head was bad, you better hope I don't find your ass, because if you're sitting here trying to mess my season up with some whack ass shit, which you first said you weren't going to press charges, then someone was like, yo, bro, you can get some money. Then you're a weak fool. That's all I got to say. If you got something to step up, and you should have stepped up then. Anyway, but yeah, so hopefully the Tyreek thing won't be a big deal. It's a little slap on the head as far as I understood it.
That sounds like it.
So it is. What is your over and under on when that whole thing comes apart, like the Space Shuttle Challenger?
I have a no. It's not. There's nothing coming apart here. Like, Mike McDaniels is a great coach, a great players coach at that. So I don't see anything falling apart, quite frankly. I like Tyreek Hill. I even said last
you guys still got Tua, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second. I'll say that as far as Tyreek Hill is concerned, I said it last year, he will go down, mark it down now, as the biggest free agent acquisition the Miami Dolphins have ever picked up, because of what he's done immediately when he came. He got with Tua. Remember, if you guys remember, he was putting those things out there. Tua's the most accurate QB in the league. What was he doing? He was boosting this man's confidence, who has just been stepped on since he's gotten to the league. So I love what Tyreek did. He came down. If you've seen anything from the practices, he's up there getting the fans all hype. And I'm like, bro, I love this guy. So I love Tyreek Hill's my guy. I absolutely love him. So I'm all in. So if we're gonna get to Tua real quick, are we getting on to that or what?
Sure.
I'm ready. All right. So luckily in my professional field, I am a PTA and I am a certified brain injury specialist. So I know a little bit what I'm talking about when it comes to brain injury. And I'll just say this: it don't take a rocket science to figure out. The brain is like any other bone, muscle, anything you have in your body. If it's injured, it needs time to heal. So when you go to the Buffalo game, let's take a step back to the Buffalo game with it was his back. We now know it definitely was not his back. Now, fast forward to we go to Cincinnati, because we played that off like it wasn't what it was. Then he gets, now don't get me started on how he got hit, because the man basically was out of the pocket, ran back in the pocket to get hit, but whatever, let's let that ride. But he goes and gets hit, and then he's right back to where he was, and even worse, everyone knows the fencing stuff that he did and all that. That was because he wasn't allowed the time to heal. The brain didn't have time to heal. That's what it needed. So now, of course, fast forward, everyone's like, oh my God. And by the way, I'm going to say this too. If this was back in the fucking 70s, all we would fucking hear is, what a great warrior Tua is. Tua's a warrior. Guess what we're hearing now? Oh, you put the Tua back in. Just because, we know what we know now. Right. Okay. Yada, yada. Let's find some middle ground here, okay? The guy, whatever happened, they mismanaged him to get back on the field. But my whole point to all this is saying he's had a whole offseason to heal. He's got a whole offseason to train. He looks like thick. He looks real thick. If you've seen pictures of him, definitely built his lower extremities actually really look bigger than what he's been. So I think Tua's going to be just fine, and we'll be good this year. So off the Tua situation.
You're not going to have Tua tag of
how much was weight room and how much was buffet?
Hey, whatever it may be, as long as he's thicker, I'm good with it because you need a little padding here in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. So anyway,
Did
I'm
he
good.
learn how to fall?
I like your spirit.
Tua's problem is he can't fall.
So
every time he falls, it's a train wreck.
So that was a little article about him taking judo or something so he can learn how to fall. So that was another thing that Tua did in the offseason. So I'm all in on Tua. I love Tua to death. Like, the guy came into the league. He amounted to, I have a doctor on my show, and he talked about all of that injury that he had in Alabama way back when, and what it amounted to almost what a car crash is what he did. He came into a COVID season with no practice, no whatever. If you guys remember that coming into it, he's got an owner who's sitting there trying to flirt with Tom Brady because he doesn't believe in him, and all kind of things went on with Tua. But guess what? He's here now, and he's shining, and get ready. Big time year for Tua this year.
So there's no reason to even bring up another team in the AFC East, obviously.
No, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I just figured I'd talk about the Dolphins. That's all I need to say.
Hell yeah, I'm sold.
Fans are fired up. Resale tickets are up 100% from last year, and they're the 6th most expensive if you want to go get a scalp ticket out there.
Well, here's what's really cool is I have 6 season seats, and I could tell you 3 or 4 years ago I couldn't even fucking give them away, and now I'm like, yeah, come see me now. All right.
Yep. Now you're fielding phone calls. Now the voicemail box is full at all times in the fall.
I love the spirit, and I'm excited to hear you talk about the Dolphins. I really love that. But on planet Earth where I live, they still have to travel to 3 different places up north. That's kind of chipper in the fall. They get a little cool, and the one thing that offsets speed is cold weather. And I'm not convinced that the Dolphins are going to be thoroughbreds down the stretch. I think that they're going to be really hot to start. Do what?
They get they get the Falcons and Texans right out of the gate. Then
Did
Jags,
you check the
Chargers,
schedule? I'm just wondering.
I have no doubt they're going to be hot out of the gate. They always are.
Raiders
the season doesn't stop in September.
But look at the end of the season. That's why I keep bringing it up. Look at
week 14 Titans.
They're all at home, baby.
Week 15
all at home.
Week 15 at home against the Jets.
Well,
week
that
16 at home against the
point of
Cowboys. Week 17 at home against the Ravens. How'd they do this? Week 18 at home against the Bills.
Told you.
What is that?
Told you. Better check the schedule before you make those takes, Coach. Because we are ready.
So I'm not going to lie to you, man. That is that's pretty interesting, and that's got to be pretty exciting as a Dolphins fan.
It's super exciting because now I got some relevant games at home in the meat of football season for once. So it's absolutely exciting.
Yeah.
What what do you go ahead? Sorry, Coach.
No,
we can get into it. We can get it. Let's get into the Jets too.
Well, that's where what's this November 24th game? Is that in Miami?
Which one is that? The Black Friday one? No, that's in New York. So that one's in New York.
That's their last cold game, really.
That's right. November, baby. Ain't worried about it.
December 11th is home.
Oh, yeah.
December 17th home.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
This January 7th.
This isn't the third hardest schedule.
By January 7th, they're sitting their whole entire fucking
right. I mean, we're good then. All right, and let me say this too. So let me address the cold and real quick.
Well, I think that'll be a relevant game on the 7th.
We'll see. But let me address your cold thing real quick. I don't know if let me rewind your memory banks a little bit. I hope you remember that we went into the playoffs with Skylar Thompson, a rookie QB, and if it wasn't for Jalen Waddle dropping a couple passes in the beginning of that football game, we beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So I don't hear none about no cold. I don't hear none about Buffalo anymore. I'm not
going to lie to you. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, sir. So that's didn't
point
happen.
Is we played well.
I think the Dolphins win that division.
I agree with you, and the schedule is favorable. I just think that the East is going to be a battle, and to say that the Dolphins, and I don't get me wrong, I love your enthusiasm, but to say the Dolphins are going to tiptoe through the tulips and just it's everybody else is running for second, I I strongly disagree with you, and I would take the field and your money a lot for a large.
I will also say, if you check history, look at the AFC East. Miami has every regular season record against every team in the AFC East. You come through.
The Dolphins haven't been relevant since Dan Marino.
You come to America's team to win the AFC East. That's all.
They haven't been relevant since Dan Marino.
Have the Dolphins been in the playoffs since Dan Marino?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Don't forget we had Ricky Williams and Jay Fiedler. Watch out now.
Yep. I think the Dolphins could win this division.
In the playoffs.
I think they could win this division by default. You got all kinds of dysfunction up in Buffalo. The Jets, Nathaniel Hackett's offense notoriously hard to pick up. Rodgers has very little patience. There could be problems all over the place in New York. And the Patriots just aren't quite there.
Listen,
I think it's there for them. It's definitely there for them.
Miami season rests on the shoulders of 12 up in the in green. The green.
I think if Tua played every game, I think they'd win the division. Because that offense was crazy.
That's a huge if. First off, that's
right,
a huge if.
Here we go. So listen,
if Tua plays every game.
This is the dumb shit I love.
You guys, you have to admit.
This is the dumb shit I love.
You have to admit that without Tua, that team is different. I mean,
okay, Coach.
No, they got Mike White now. They're good.
Hold on, let me get in here. Thank you for that point, Coach, because I've been waiting to say this. Yeah, okay, cool. What about what the fucking Jets are going to look like without Aaron Rodgers? What the fuck did the Bills look like without Josh Allen? Like, let's go through them. Do we do that to every team?
Here's a caveat, though. Yeah. Tua is on glass right now. So everybody's waiting. I was
just going to say,
because
of the three that you named,
is high risk of injury, and nobody wants to see Tua
of the three that you named. He's
at all. I want to see him play.
Susceptible.
I want to see him play the full year, but gosh, he's our boy out there. Every time he takes a snap and he's dropping back, you don't want to see him get hurt. I think that's the concern.
Okay, so the concern about the injury history again, but you're talking about different injuries. Like, again, he went through what amounted to a car accident coming out of college, then came into the pros. He really was okay until, of course, this popped up. Obviously last year, but like I said, they never allowed the guy to have what he needed, which was rest, which he's had this offseason. So I don't feel the concern for Tua like everyone else does, because it's a brain injury. That's why everyone's so like, oh, I'm scared, because we still don't know a lot about the brain. And, there's like we talked about when we were kids, that we haven't unlocked the full capacity of our brains. You know what I mean? So we don't know how this crazy thing works in our heads or what happens when it gets injured. So, yeah, there is that concern, obviously, but he's had the appropriate time to heal from that injury. So I don't see it coming in being a problem into this season.
That's like Roger Goodell there. We don't know what happens to the brain when it gets repeatedly bashed in. We can't say. We have no idea.
Do you know?
Once all the facts and figures came out and the settlement was all set up, then I think we know that there is significant impact that happens. There's something. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So here's the deal. We can't. If we're predicting, we have to predict that everybody's just going to be healthy, because that's the fair starting point for prediction.
Right. That's like it.
So let's just say that we know Tua's going to go the whole year. I think the bigger issue in the NFC East is the fucking New York press corps and baby bitch Rodgers.
Right. So that's
a bigger concern to me.
Right. So to me, I think the Jets are the biggest anomaly in the AFC East, because they could be really fucking good, or they could be really
the biggest anomaly in the NFL,
or their coach could get fired.
Right. It could be. Yeah. It could go anywhere with those guys, especially if Aaron Rodgers starts fucking up and they start getting on him. Who knows? If that relaxed shit ain't gonna work in New York, buddy.
Nope.
Now, I think the biggest wild card, one of the biggest wild cards, is Stephon Diggs and how happy he is in Buffalo. That's a big one too.
Yep.
The AFC East, Miami's kind of just like the rest of the league or the rest of the division. Could go a lot of different ways. And I'm telling you, it's not looking great. They keep going down in Buffalo, and I don't know why everybody thinks they're going to be better this year. I don't see it. So it's up for grabs. There's a lot of talent. There's also a lot of downside.
Jonas says Tua is one concussion away from permanent bed rest. That is the kind of blue collar enlightenment that we're looking for.
Hey,
Well,
Jonah,
let's do the Bills then. Last year, 13-3, 3 straight division titles for the Bills. The third passing offense, the fourth third scoring offense, the fourth scoring defense, 8th in rushing yards, 5th in passing yards, 6th rush defense, 14th pass defense. Their 14th pass defense, that's their worst unit out there, allowing 214 per game. Sean McDermott in year 7. He just got extended through 2027. OC Ken Dorsey, DC Matthew Smiley. I never heard of him. That means he's not good nor bad at his job. He just is. They added Trent Sherfield, Latavius Murray, a defensive tackle, Poona Ford. I believe he was like the highest paid guy on that Seattle defense before he left. He's a good player. Dalton Kincaid they drafted. That's a big deal. He's allegedly, I don't know, not since Mike Gesicki have I heard this much hype about a tight end. Isaiah McKenzie, really the only notable departure. They have the 4th most difficult strength of schedule per Warren Sharp. Their projected win totals 10.5. They're breaking ground on a new stadium. I mean, they drafted this kid. The Stephon Diggs thing hanging in the air is their biggest problem. And they don't have a lot of wide receiver depth. So they need him to be happy, and they kind of also need to bring in Hopkins, like as an insurance policy. And they should. I think I would be. I would have Hopkins in there taking the full tour. Like, hey, look, you want to be an asshole? Fine. We'll bring this guy in.
Where do you think Hopkins ends up? That plays into this.
Yeah, I don't know where Hopkins ends up. From what I understood, he was all heavy in with the Titans the last I was hearing. So,
Lions heavily involved now.
Right. So it sounds like to me, he's not looking for a team. He's looking for a payday is what it sounds like. So quite frankly, it could be anywhere. My thing would be the Browns for him. It just reunite with Deshaun Watson. You've already got Amari Cooper on the other side. You got Nick Chubb. I mean, to me, the Browns just go up to basically the rest of the halves in the AFC if they make that move. But I just want to comment real quick on the Bills. Let's also not forget Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. He's my dude. Like, I feel like if I had, an athlete body, I'd be him because like the same kind of moxie attitude I feel like we both have. And I really, really like him, but he has been fucking up at the end of football games. Period. You can't get around it. And he's been making a lot of mistakes last year. Could have been in the UCL injury, could have been, maybe. But last year, he did the same exact thing. Down the stretch, he's making horrible mistakes. So that was the other thing I just want to add with the Buffalo Bills.
Red zone, too. He threw a lot of red zone picks last year.
Well, I believe that's a direct correlation to the lack of running game that they have.
You ain't wrong.
Yep. And that's another team that's in the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes, as they say. I mean, he would bring him in, play with his brother.
All of that makes sense to me. Now that would make sense to me. That's a good fit for him. But again, do they want to go put? I don't know what their money situation is. There's that factor too.
Evening, Skip.
What's up, Dad?
He's already.
Hope you're having a good. Tell Mom I love her. Go Trump.
His numbers are getting better every day. It's like the more they bitch about him, they're like, we're just going to vote for him harder then.
We'll just write that motherfucker in.
Biden will get elected for sure.
That's right. Negative attention is still attention.
They say Josh Allen will run less this year and throw more, but I'll believe that when I see it. When the bullets are flying, he takes off. That's just when he needs to put the team on his back, it's what he does.
How long can he do that for?
Well, he's 6'5", 220, so he can do it longer than Lamar Jackson. He can do it longer than some of these smaller guys, but so are the other guys. They're huge too. You can't have a running quarterback anymore. It's too valuable a position. That's my take.
What's up, Mom?
I'm going
to shout out Dr. Miller on my show. He brought up a study, and it showed that running quarterbacks actually are injured less than pocket quarterbacks. So
there's just less per capita. There's just
spin zone. I'm wrong.
And it's all good. It's just because now, if you think about it too, it makes sense, right? When a quarterback is running, he has the ability to run out of bounds. He can slide. He can do a lot of different things.
Prepare for the hit.
Right. And when you're in the pocket, half the time when you don't see that shit, that's when the injuries start coming and that kind of thing. So it's been clinically proven that actually the pocket quarterbacks do get hurt more. So just to throw that
counterpoint. Josh Allen likes to hurdle dudes. He does not like to run out of bounds.
No, I don't know. There's a study on that yet.
So sometimes running quarterback is okay, right? But it's always that I need that 2 extra yards that really don't matter on that one play. That's where you get.
That's
hurt.
Josh
That's
Allen.
where you get Jason.
That's
Street.
Josh Allen. That's the hurdling. Just go out of bounds, bro.
Yeah,
He likes to bull people over too. I know we've been victim to that a few times. Highlight reel.
Who else is in that division, Eric?
Well, we also have the New England Patriots.
Oh yeah, they're irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep.
They got a guy that's kind of good, new to coaching. You guys might have heard of him. His name's Bill. He's kind of goodish.
Yeah.
He's got his kid in there now.
I was listening on my way home. Do you guys know how many playoff games Bill Belichick's won without Tom Brady? You know how many
0
winning seasons he has? He has 1 win, and of the 10 seasons without touchdown Tommy, he's got 7 losing seasons. So
Now
we've had enough time to really look at who he is without Tom Brady.
They went for
well,
he went
have we really? Because they went to instant rebuild mode after Tommy Terrific left, and then and you've had what's it, Big Mac
Jones.
there? Is that who they've had?
Mac and cheese.
Well, they don't have weapons.
And he's still been decent for them. He's played their kind of football that Bill wants. They're going to run, control. It's a boring football game. It's 90s football, but it's proven to work. You run the football, run the clock, play good defense. That's how you win football games, especially as you mentioned, as it gets colder. That's how you win the later games. So anyway, that's again, Bill Belichick keeps the Patriots relevant no matter what. They are not the Houston Texans or I won't say Chicago Bears, but the teams
Shout to Johnny Utah.
Right? See, I held back because they're good.
He's got a point. I got it now, fair.
But yeah, he keeps them relevant. They're always going to be a good football team, no matter what. And it's always a tough game with the Patriots.
Yep. 8-9 last year. Remember?
Question, what on earth were they doing last year, dropping in a defensive coordinator and saying, "Yeah, we'll just figure it out"? Like, how arrogant are you?
Remember the end of that Raiders game?
Yeah, it's Bill.
I get that he is quote Bill Belichick, but I just don't see him giving any credence to the offensive scheme or weapons, and that's like counter to everybody else in the NFL. And I don't think that that's going to pay off for them in victories this year. What's their over under? I think it's 7. So they're projected to have another losing season. Last in the division.
And I think you're starting to see the cracks, if you will, in that Bill Belichickian style, is that you're starting to see the players buck a little bit. And, listen, I don't want to be, unless you're winning, if it's winning, it's all good. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll fall in line with Bill. And once you start losing, they're like, listen, go fuck yourself. I want to go out and have a good time and say what I want. So, like I said, you're starting to see those cracks a little bit too. But, when you've been so good for so long, as you mentioned earlier, Johnny, it's like, how could he not be cocky if you're Bill Belichick? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He did have the 7th ranked rushing defense last year. That's just the kind of football they play out there.
Mm-hmm.
They play good football. They play good defense in the East all the way around. I mean, that's tough, and that's.
Yeah, with Vic, now don't even get me started on Dolphins again, but with Vic, that's the biggest offseason move for the Dolphins with Vic Fangio. Now, one is his defense finished outside of Fangio. Yeah, they have not one team of his has finished outside the top 10 in defense. Put that with this offense, night. Like I said, we ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Now you're cooking with Crisco.
That's a great move. The old Chicago Bears.
The key to the East and the NFL is the New York Football Jets.
Elaborate.
The rest have question marks. I'm just saying the key to the East is the Jets and their ingredients. Is it going to implode? Is it going to be great? Because it has all the intangibles to be off the charts great. And when I say that, you have to have key ingredients to be elite. I think we've seen that with the team you guys might be familiar with in Kansas City. That's kind of goodish too. They have a guy that is pretty good at baking stuff. The same way with the Jets. They have all the ingredients, but when you put them together, sometimes it just doesn't work. And that's kind of what the East is going to look like. It's going to be a very much a does that work? If it doesn't, and that implodes, I believe it's probably going to be a race to the top. You know, they're gonna slug it out. It's going to go into the last month. I don't think anybody is going to run away with it unless the Jets just seem to mesh on all cylinders. And that's kind of what everybody in the league looks at. That's a lot of ifs.
When second-year wide receiver Garrett Wilson isn't picking up Nathaniel Hackett's complicated offense because Aaron Rodgers was too busy doing ayahuasca keynote speaker gigs, then it's going to all fall apart.
True.
That is the money. You just hit the nail on the head. That right there, Eric. So when you take a veteran QB like Tom Brady, for example, go to the Bucks. Yeah, that's Tom Brady. What was he doing? It's COVID. Oh, we can't practice. Oh, cool. We're gonna get in trouble because I'm taking these motherfuckers out to the park and I'm gonna get on tune with them. Aaron Rodgers is not doing that. So that's what made them great. I do not see, especially in 1 year, a guy who was about to retire to come out to New York.
Let's not forget
his team to the Super Bowl. It's not happening. I'm not sweating the Jets one single bit. So literally when you just said not only the East, you said the NFL. Oh my God, I'm about to fall on my seat.
You know, I heard
guys, you forget completely that this guy has played with him before. It's not like he doesn't know the guy. They didn't just meet yesterday. He went there for a reason. They know each other. They are acquainted. They tend to mesh a little bit. That's why he went there. I mean,
he hasn't.
He doesn't turn me into a damn Jets fan, and I don't like that. But I'm telling you right now, the Jets are going to. If all cylinders meet, the Dolphins can't hold the Jets' jock. I'm just going to say that right now.
God, this is embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself with that take. That doesn't even make sense. You are really
right now. I'll tell you
right
now. Week 3,
how did Aaron Rodgers do last year? Chris,
we'll put money on it. If both teams are undefeated, your Dolphins don't stand a chance, especially going north.
How did Aaron Rodgers do last year? That's what I want to hear right now. How did he do? Did he look old?
I'll tell you this much, that Aaron Rodgers is very fucking hard on receivers, and he will break that fucking receiving, the whole core. If they don't bring in a guy that is Aaron Rodgers' guy, and there's only 2 of them, and one of them's retired.
They brought 27 of them in.
Yeah, they brought Cobb and Lazard in.
They
the man looked old last year. He couldn't find Cobb or he couldn't find him last year. What you mean? He's going to find him over in New York now?
You got to get Jordy Nelson or you got to get Devontae Adams. If you don't have one of those 2,
I'm telling you right now.
Might as well dig up Donald Driver, bro.
One thing that you are correct in is if this is a total disaster, and that's a big if. If this is a total disaster, they have given him every opportunity to succeed that he's asked for. And I will admit that.
Right.
Yep.
He gave them a list, and they went shopping, and they got everybody that he wanted. They did that. That's
so.
Real.
There's no excuses.
But
there's
he's
no
not
excuses.
doing nothing, Coach. He's fucking at ayahuasca fucking leadership meetings, and he's doing fucking drugs.
If he was doing Tom Brady like things,
you think he's new
I
to
would
that?
have a
you
different
think he's
opinion.
just tiptoeing through that and he's never done it before?
But that's
he's done drugs before.
Team.
You guys are talking about a guy that just got his keys to the car here. This guy's been driving for a couple of days.
No,
not in New York. Not in New York.
He's been driving in Green.
He ain't been driving. They ain't been driving that car.
And his grandma talking to him.
This
now
is brand new.
New York. It's going to be different.
You think that all of a sudden this 2-time MVP is just going to be different, and he's going to turn into Byron Leftwich?
What did he do last year? What did he do last year? We keep asking it until it gets answered.
What did he do last year?
Shit. And
you don't want us to judge Tua
with his guy, and he didn't do shit. And now he's over with the fucking New York Jets, and you think all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is going to come back to the 2-time MVP of the league.
What kind of double standard are we running here when we're going to not judge Glassjaw Tua, but we're going to go ahead and judge Aaron Rodgers on last year's performance?
Tua is young. His upside is way up there. We know what Aaron Rodgers is peaked and maybe on his way down. So
are you saying that
Aaron
Rodgers does not still possess the skills to play at a high level in this league?
I don't think he's
what I'm hearing
play at a high level. I don't think he wants
Say what?
to. I don't think he wants to. I think if he wanted to be really good, he would have those receivers
He'd be doing
on
what
an
Tom Brady
island
did.
somewhere.
Yep.
That's exactly
It's
what he'd be
fucking
doing.
July.
That's my
Now
point.
you may be right with that, but I will tell you, if you get what you want, that people that already know what you want, is there a need for that?
Absolutely on a new team. Are you fucking joking me right now? If it was,
but
listen,
it's not a new team to him.
This is crazy. Yes, it is. It's a whole new fucking line. It's a whole new stadium. The wind blows different. Everything is different. It is football. It is not just a flag football fucking game. Like, come on now. What are we talking about here? Everybody's got to be in sync.
I'm just saying, if I've been playing on the same team with somebody for the last 8 years, and they come over,
Garrett Wilson,
we don't need to practice curl and hitch route. We don't need to run the post route for 8 years.
Brees Hall's been playing for 8 years, I guess. So Garrett Wilson. You're talking about two old ass has-been receivers that has been playing with them. It means nothing.
You think they know how to? They need to practice a hitch route in July?
I think fucking him and Garrett Wilson need to get on point
right now.
I'm sure you play football, coach, and you're a coach, so I hope you coached it. They have to get in sync, right? You have to be
I don't
in sync.
know. Like, these defenses aren't fucking around in the AFC.
And you're telling me that right now Tyreek Hill is out running routes with Tua?
Yes, and they did it all off season. Absolutely, they did.
They posted.
You want the link? I'll bring it up right now while we're sitting here. Don't embarrass yourself here. I got you on this, buddy. You way off on this one. You way off.
I think that Rodgers.
I'm going to go out and film some routes, and I'm going to slap it on the internet. And
now they're out filming routes. Right now we're playing it out with something else.
But let's talk. But really, right now. Aaron Rodgers has Aaron Rodgers has a hard time dealing with the Green Bay local media. And it is literal like Guthrie, Oklahoma media. New York is going to get an ego. They are going to get an ego, and it is going to suck.
I got a counterpoint to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just have a hard time discounting this guy. I mean, you guys are right.
I'm not discounting him. I'm just
Superman.
Utter chaos right now.
I'm gonna step in right here as an unbiased person. There's a lot of Aaron Rodgers bias in here. Now, I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but I know who he is. He's not dumb. He's smart. Everything he says, he knows what the reaction is going to be. He doesn't care. There's certain things he goes out on a limb that gets him in trouble with the media and all that. But he's a smart guy. He knows what to say and when to say it. And sometimes he does want to ruffle feathers. When he gets to New York, that first press conference, it went pretty well. I think he'll be better than you think at handling the New York media until he starts losing. Right. And then he'll have his bad attitude. And then he'll say, I'm the greatest, and I don't care who you are. I'm better than you. But I think he'll be able to handle it until he starts losing. But then that's every quarterback in the league.
If they don't fucking lose, they're gonna go very far.
That's what I said in the beginning. Go ahead and go back to what I said in the beginning. They're gonna be either really good, it's gonna be really bad. If they could be really bad because of all of that, what we said earlier, they're not getting them guys in shape with them.
As a Dolphins fan, you better hope for the latter.
I'm not worried, though. That's why I keep telling. I am not worried about them Jets at all. The Bills are the only ones that I'm concerned with. The Jets, we will wipe the fucking floor with them twice. I can't wait for Black Friday.
So what is your concern with the Bills? How do you see this playing out where do you think you'll make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we're in the playoffs. I don't think there's no doubt about that. The Bills are just good. I mean, we've been playing them obviously we're in the division. I going down watching these football games. Josh Allen in Miami owns our fucking ass, period. So it's like I've been watching this team for a while. But again, I think last year, to me anyway, it was kind of that moment, even just for my self-confidence. I can imagine the team going up to Buffalo and playing with the fucking third-string quarterback, a rookie third-string quarterback. And I just watched that game again. Jalen Waddle in the beginning of that game has balls that are literally right fucking here, and it's touchdown. And he drops them. If Skylar Thompson go into Buffalo late in the season and almost pull out that victory, I know Buffalo is fucking getting nervous. So other than that, though, that's, I think, our biggest nemesis because the Jets, as I said earlier, Aaron Rodgers coming over half retired, half not doing the things.
90% retired.
Not doing the things Tom Brady was doing. Had to go to his little sweatshop in his dark room to go fucking figure out what his life, whatever he wants to do. That is not a leader of a football team, and you don't fucking scare me because your old ass skills last year were lacking. Now you're coming over here and not doing what you're supposed to do. I am not worried about those Jets at all.
That'll be fun. Hey, you come on Black Friday, Jay.
I can't wait.
We'll have a lot of sample then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. The missus goes out. It'll be great.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see who's right.
We shall. Well, we'll know before that. Honestly, there's gonna be,
game 4. We'll kind of know where Rodgers is.
Right. Yeah. We'll get a taste.
They're gonna be the Hard Knocks team, right? They have to be.
Oh, man, I hope so.
How do we still not know?
We don't know yet. Okay.
Which is going to
be
good.
We don't know for sure.
It's gonna be
it is yet to be announced.
There's got to be some sort of
it's
pissing
the Jets.
contest happening.
I just want to say this. I want to say this too, and just publicly out there. I hope that the NFL, with their little
they were
agreement,
told. They were voluntold. They didn't request that.
So I hope the NFL, with their little agreement with YouTube and the Sunday Ticket, finally gets rid of that old stupid fucking rule DirecTV had, where when I'm sitting in the stadium, I can't watch the DirecTV Sunday Ticket because I'm sitting in an NFL stadium.
Yeah, that's
Go
correct.
fuck yourself. I paid my money for both. What do you
Yep.
care?
Yeah.
And
What do you care?
Yeah,
later in the season, where we just mentioned all those games at home, when I want to watch Buffalo and the Jets, or I want to watch a game that's meaningful for the Dolphins, I should be fucking allowed to, shouldn't I?
You should,
hell?
regardless of
Yeah,
where
I
you
agree.
are.
I love that
I
take.
agree.
That's a good take.
Yes.
That's what a paying customer should get.
Well, I said a
And
long
you pay
time
for both of
ago.
them.
I said a long time ago, if they weren't going to change it, I'm going to be the first person, Mary Jane Cooper Esquire, was going to file a lawsuit against the NFL and DirecTV because I'm fucking tired of it and it's not fair.
Hey, all right. So we have Miami. So we have New England as the dog in the back, huh? That gets kicked around. Little brother put in the corner.
I think so.
I think it goes Miami, Buffalo, New England, New York. I think that's how it falls.
Oh.
Okay.
I think New York is above New England. I go Miami, Buffalo, New York, Patriots. That's what I look at it.
Oh my God. This is hard. Okay. Buffalo,
great
New
one.
York, Miami, New England.
You got Miami third? You're
Yeah.
done, bro. You're done. Don't text or call me.
You know,
again.
my gut feel is Buffalo, Miami, New York, New England. That's my gut.
Coach?
It seems logical. It seems like the measured take. He's trying to decide if he's going to have the
It's
Jets.
Jets. I mean, this guy's Jets all the way.
No.
We don't. If Will,
I'm gonna
got
go
here, this-
Buffalo,
this
New
league
York,
would blow up.
Miami, and then New England.
Oh, we have the same one.
I was
Me and
waiting for
Coach
him to
have
go
the same
New
one.
England, Miami.
Guys, I think this is the year that that Belichick really loses a lot of his shine. I don't know what he's doing. Would they just sign Devontae?
If he goes
Parker?
8-9 again, 7-10.
That's what Vegas is saying. They just he has no he just doesn't value offense the same way everybody else does. So unless he can keep everybody under 12 points, good luck. And him and Mac Jones don't seem like they're best friends. It seems like they aren't clicking, and that's never been good for him.
Mac Jones doesn't seem like he's best buddies with anybody on the team.
No.
I don't know how many cookouts and birthday parties is he getting invited to this summer? I'm not sure.
Well, they just signed Mr. Glass, Devontae Parker, for another 3 years, so that's really exciting.
They make the worst decisions with wide receivers. Remember when they gave a second for Mohamed Sanu?
I think I heard on the radio today he was last in the league in separation.
Let me tell you something. I've watched that guy sat there, and I've seen guys that are 5'4", I feel, I'm joking, but really, really smaller corners go up and get balls from him. And I was like, I am so done with this half-ass. Like, so good luck with that, New England. The 3 years, that's wonderful. Good job.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's like they're watching the rest of the NFL pass by.
It does feel like that all the cards are aligning now that I look at that schedule for the Dolphins. But you know, you gotta
can't
ask
say it now.
yourself.
You already argued.
You
gotta ask yourself if this isn't the year, then when?
Yeah,
when is it
exactly?
So who's backing up?
You're gonna say that about Miami, but not New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
New York's got one shot.
One or
shot,
done.
New York. One and done.
They got next year too.
We got a couple years.
He'll be in
We
Minnesota
got a few
next year.
years. We're gonna be
if
okay.
they make a run at it,
Possibly,
and they're decent,
that would make
he'll be
sense
back
too.
next year.
He'll be back in Minnesota.
We'll take that same Brett Favre route from New York to Minnesota.
Hey, real quick, I just want to hear. I know this is AFC East, but how are the Bears this year, Johnny Utah?
Not great. Go. They're not going to be great. Their line isn't great. They don't have. Oh gosh, I just saw a picture. One of the. Don't even get me started on the wide receiver core. They're okay, but again, I don't know. I don't like that we have a defensive guy as a head coach. That rubs me the wrong way. I like that our GM is an O-line guy, so please, for the love of God, build out the O-line. Defense, we sold everybody last year. Hopefully some of our picks pan out from last year, this year. We'll see. Honestly, it's wait and see.
Boy, that is a stark difference.
That's
exactly how Miami used to describe their coming in.
They're going to be better.
Can we, for the love of God, get a quarterback who can throw for 4,000 yards? Please. Then I'll start going chips.
Then you're going places. Yep.
But
Will's the West Coast guy, so
I think you're selling DJ Moore a little short. I think that was a good move for them. I think Justin Fields might have a decent, better than normal season this year. So
they're making good moves, but it doesn't necessarily equate to 10 wins this year.
Not when you have the MVP future.
And we got to play the AFC. We got to play the AFC West. Fun.
All right.
True.
I'm out, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Later, Coach. Yep.
Fuck the Jets.
We can wrap this thing. We hit all the teams. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Subscribe. Wait. It's on there somewhere. You're already here. It's easy to do. Go to patriotsportsnow.com. Find all of our stuff. Commissioner Cooper, where can they find your stuff?
Yes.
Tell them about Fantasy Sports Corp.
Well, just tell them, Spike. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Fantasy Sports Corporation, excuse me. We got it all for you on there. Find us on YouTube, or we have lots of shows going on Rumble as well. So make sure you come check it out. We got everything. My show is TSS Fantasy. Right now, we're doing a summer tour of all the teams. We're about to do the Saints in about 10 minutes. I got, I don't know if you remember the Disney's Imagination Movers. They're Saints fans. They're going to be on my show tonight, but a couple of other Saints experts in the building. So what we do for the summer tour is that we'll talk about last year, we predict this year. And then I put my guests through a little quiz show, see how well they know their team. And then on the third spot, we talk about fantasy specific. So come check out the summer tour, especially if you have a team that you like. Go check out that episode. Don't forget, though, to hit the subscribe button. You want to stay. We got all these great shows on there, and we'll have more coming. So make sure you check us out. We appreciate you.
Can't hang out with Cooper without playing a game. So much room for activities over there on the Fantasy Sports Corporation channel. We love you too, Jonah. Till next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriots.